Hello guys, and welcome back to another cold episode. On today's episode, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of help when it comes to understanding or learning about the game Yu-Gi-Oh! And just kind of wanted to give you the resources that I use to help me get better at the game through seeing other decks as well as seeing tournament tops and the like. So, I have a couple of different websites to show you guys to just kind of give you a resource as to what I use to get better at the game, to see new deck lists, and the like. So, we're starting off here on MasterDuelMeta.com. Now, all of the DuelMeta.coms are very good. DuelLinksMeta.com, CrossDuelMeta.com, as well as MasterDuelMeta.com are all run by the same company of Duel Meta Corp at this point, and they are all very good. They all have something in common where they do a tier list, they do top decks, and they do guides as well as leaks and updates for the various games. They also host tournaments for each of the games through the Duel Meta Core tournament system, all of which are very nice. You can also see tournament breakdowns for the various websites here as well. So you can see that this was a 55-player tournament, single elimination, one deck, best of ones before semifinals, and best of three semifinals and finals. So this goes to show you how much is on the line, how many players are participating, and what kind of results you can expect. So this is a very good resource overall. I think most people know this one just because it happens to be like the most popular, and yeah, really good for specifically Master Duel. Obviously, you can also do this with Duel Links and Cross Duel as well. One thing that this really has is it's very intuitive. It's very easy to see what you're looking for. So this is normally where I will end up looking for new decks to kind of get inspiration for cards and decks to play. So first of all, here you can see I went to the top decks list. You can check out a whole bunch of different things. You can go to the tournament section. Here you can see a myriad of different tournaments results. You can see like, oh, based upon tournaments, Branded Despia seems to be the new greatest deck. Dragon Link's doing really good. Eldritch is doing really good. Flunder is kind of up there. You can see Sword Soul Tenyis also having the same amount of results as like everything else. You can see things like Tri Brigade are still around. Shadal's doing really well. Sky Striker's doing well. Things like Virtual World and Zombie World, Eldritch have kind of fallen off. Or you could say that Eldritch is still one of the best because it has multiple variants in the top. Yeah, or you can look at, Diamond 1 decks, and you can see Branded Despia seems to be the most popular deck. Obviously, that's the case. You can also check out new cards, new various builds, such as a Despia build, which seems to be rather copium, I'm not going to lie. But yeah, so you can see a whole bunch of various different builds there, and yeah, all in all, very cool to look at. Lots of different things to look for, and lots of different things to help. Now, one thing I do want to mention is that the tier list for this website is algorithmic, meaning that it is entirely based upon the tournament topping decks for community tournaments, and is not based upon the decks that are going to show up on ladder, the most popular decks on ladder, as well as, more importantly, it is not representative of what people perceive to be the best decks, as well as what has been shown to be the best decks, but more so what people are playing within the community tournaments. And again, if we go back to these community tournaments, this one was a 55-person event. Not exactly the largest, not small, but not exactly the largest. We can see this all across a lot of these different tournaments. So it is something to keep in mind. Don't judge everything solely based on, oh, there is no tier 1 deck, it's all tier 2. In reality, that's not the case. Madolche is not a tier 3 deck. I'm sorry to break your hearts, it's not. So do keep that in the back of your mind. Some of these decks are just not as good as they are perceived to be because they're based solely on tournaments, and a lot of those tournaments are run very differently. They could be best of 1s, they could have a side deck, they could not have a side deck, they could be best of 3s, who knows, who cares? It's all up in the air. Be very skeptical with specifically this. It does give you a good idea as to what people could be playing or what could be the meta, and it can give you a good idea. If you go and click on this, you can see, oh, here is a tournament topping deck list running with the 42 cards. Maybe you weren't playing Mercurier, maybe you should play Mercurier, maybe you weren't playing all 3 copies of Maxi, maybe you want to do that. Don't play Theater, that's a lie. Yeah, so there you go. really good resource overall to help you and just help you like understand the game. Also, one thing that this deck or this website does over a lot of the other ones is it gives you a resource to show you the top decks or the top cards, as well as their popularity, or just basically anything that you want to rank things by. If you want to see the highest attack point monster, well, there you go. There's the highest attack point monster. Everything caps out at 5,000 up on this top line. You can also see what is the highest defense point monster. Let's find out. Oh, look at that. It's 5,000 once again. Kind of caps out at 5,000. There you go. Pretty cool. What's the highest link rating monster? Well, you got the Link 6 Arrival Cybers. Pretty cool. We also have Boral End. That's the newest one. Pretty interesting. So you can check out a whole bunch of different things. You can also check out the release date of new cards. So yeah, what's the newest card? You know, you can scroll down and be like, okay, so we've got like the B Troopers and DDD stuff, and then more recently we've got like Dark Charmers and stuff like that. So really good resource overall at helping you find what you need to. However, there are a few things that aren't on this that a lot of other websites have. Notably, there is a lacking of TCG as well as OCG tournament and just results in general. You can't really find anything here for like the tournament results besides like maybe top 8 deck lists and such. But also there isn't like deck guides for the TCG or the OCG. That's where the next website comes in. YGOPRODECK.com. YGO Pro Deck is one of the best websites in terms of just overall encompassing any deck that you want to see. If you want to see the top decks, boom, there's a link for that. If you just want to see any deck, just go crazy, just see whatever anyone is playing, go for it. However, unlike with Master Duel Meta, where it's only people who are subscribed to the Master Duel website, or like Decade, I think, on Twitch, or somehow there is a restriction on how many people can actually submit decks. This, anyone can submit it. You just make an account, you can submit a deck. So you do get a lot of stinker decks on here, but that is where the tournament decks come in. So if we look at Exosister here, this is the tournament topping, not even topping, the tournament winning deck from the latest YCS. So you can see here is the 41 card deck list with things like Dimension Shifter, all of the Exosisters, as well as a whole bunch of other cards in here for the TCG. You can even see their extra deck as well as their side deck. Really, really valuable resource for specifically the TCG, and it allows you to see every single deck that is posted here, all through these tournament deck lists. So you can see here we have more of the YCS Niagara, top 16. We can see more YCS Niagara, top 8, top 16, top 4. We can see the Exorcist. Oh, this one was the first place. This one was not the first place one. So here's the first place one. Here's the 41 card deck list. Sorry, it's basically the exact same. I actually think this might be the same one, but it's just like done by a different person. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You can see all of the different tournament topping decks that you want to see. Another thing that you can do here is you can go to this card database and you can open packs. You can look at the top cards similar to Master Duel, but slightly different. I'll show you this one. So this one is just top cards throughout all of the decks that have been uploaded on YGO Pro Deck. So, as you can see, it's slightly different. It's not the most played decks. Well, I mean, it's similar to Master Duel, but this is specifically through all of the decks, including Master Duel, including casual decks, including GOAT format decks, including tournament decks, including everything like that. Whereas on Master Duel, it is more specific, or MasterDuelMeta.com, it is more specifically catered to Master Duel. That being said, Ash Blossom is still the top card. Same thing here. If we go to top cards, look, it's right there. Boom, Ash Blossom. However, Maxi exists in the in Master Duel, so of course Maxi is also up there. Monster Reborn is second, kind of funny. But yeah, that's also something that you can look at. You can look at what are the top cards in GOAT format. Sandgan, Mystical Space Typhoon, Mirror Force, obviously Pot of Greed and Graceful Charity, Pog. Another great thing that this card database has is, as I mentioned, you can go to the packs. You can check out all of the packs, and you can choose what packs that you want to open. Say I wanted to go to the Lost Art promotion for 2022, so I could see what cards I could potentially get from the Lost Art. That being Ben 10. That's it. That's the only card. But there you go, Ben 10. That's what's in there. That was a bad example, but still, we can go back to the TCG, and I believe we can search up like Power of the Elements, which was the latest set, I believe. And we can see all of the cards that are in here. We can see the secret rares: Sprite Blue, Martha, the Primeval Planet, Ultimate Slayer, Kaleido Heart. All of those cards are secret rares. We can look at the super rares. We can look at what the ultra rares are. We can look at the commons, and we can look at the I guess that's it. Starlight rares as well. We can look at those ones. So yeah, all of these different cards to see and to look at. All in all, a very good resource. Also, if we go back to Pack Simulator, here we go. We can actually open them in a like draft mode or something like that. We can also open a random pack. What pack is this? It is Roused from Destruction. I have no idea. Flip the cards over. Boom. Here are some cards. Great for sealed. This is what basically everyone uses for their progression series. So if you want to do progression series, bada bing, bada boom, there you go. There's also one more thing that I love about this website, and it is the Forbidden List. So what you can do is you can come onto here and you can go, I want to see what the TCG ban list is. So you can check out all of the banned cards. You can check out all the semi-limited cards. You can check out all the limited cards right here. Easy access. You can also do this with the OCG as well as GOAT format. So you can check out the GOAT format if you wanted to jump into that. You could see, okay, here are the only cards that are banned. We have Witch of the Black Forest, Mercurier, we have Raigeki, we have Monster Reborn, we have Harpy's Feather Duster. Semi-limits, we have all of these cards right here. We have a bunch of limited cards right here. We have Jinzo, Demok, Sangan, etc., etc. So, there you go. Absolutely insane resource. There are also articles just like there are on Master Duel Meta. All of these articles are on things like the meta, things like different you know what, let's just show you. So it shows you all of the new cards that are coming out. Again, this is also something that is on Master Duel Meta. As you can see, like they have the OCG cards, the new cards that are coming out in the new packs. So you can see those here. We can also see Common Charity, which has like some new cards that have come out within Common Charity that are of note. And this is one of the things that I absolutely love about this website as well, is you can go on here, check out alternative formats and see what's going on in those alternative formats. And it's very interesting. You can be like, oh yeah, Stinglancer. I never thought about the Bee Troopers for Common Charity. Yeah, they're probably crazy. They're all at common rarity. Pretty cool. You know, and you can look at a whole bunch of these different little articles there, which makes it very interesting. Obviously, you can build your own decks as well, just like on Master Duel Meta. However, unlike with Master Duel Meta, you don't need to go and subscribe to a Discord or anything like that. You just make an account, you sign up, and you're off to the races. And you could make your own deck, make it absolutely wild, have enough, just put it in anything. So yeah, there you go. And then that's basically it. There isn't really much more that I want to say about this one. Mostly it's under this card database system where you're going to find the most value, or at least the most unique value with YGO Pro deck. And the last one that we have is Road of the King. Now, Road of the King doesn't have nearly as much when it comes to these other two. However, it is a very valuable resource when determining the meta when it comes to tournaments that were held specifically in the OCG land with like, I believe it's Taiwan, China, Japan, and I think the Koreas, or Korea. So, yeah. Those are the areas where Master Duel or the OCG, and this is basically going over the tournaments there. So we can check out the Master Duel Metagame Report. I've done a couple of these where I've gone over the Master Duel Meta Report and been like, okay, here's how it's actually going in this area of the land. And Master Duel Meta is very good for kind of determining what is good in, like, the West or in the TCG version of this game. So you can see, like, Branded Despia, very popular. Now, granted, this one is specifically prior to us getting branded, but it does kind of give you a sense of like where things are. You know, Eldritch, still one of the best decks. Well, if we look over here, it's not as popular, but it's still one of the best. Understandable. Again, this is more so for tournaments, so if we go to something like tournaments, this may be a little bit more representative. We can also see that Phantom Knights happen to be the most represented deck within Master Duel with these tournaments. So that's something worth noting, you know? We can even see some of the topping lists as well as articles from individual players. This guy got second place during one of these events that had 128 participants. We can also look at this Eldritch one. This one had this tournament had 113 participants. This guy also finished second, and here is the list. So there you go. Lots of very interesting things here. Also, we can check out the Metagame Report for the OCG, and we can see that Terror Element is still tearing it up. Now, this was prior to the most recent ban list in the OCG. I've also covered that, but you can see, again, lists here. This one goes over some of the plays that were made in the finals of the, I think it was the 38 Invitational. Yeah, so this, I believe, was an Invitational. It had 38 participants, and yeah. Anyway, we can also see, like, Splight here. This one was a much bigger tournament, 434 participants, and this was the Splight deck that ended up taking second place in that one. So, yeah, just a whole bunch of different decks and profiles, and just a really good breakdown of what is currently being played in the OCG, just to kind of get a feel for what could potentially be better in the meta in the TCG as well as in Master Duel. Also, you can check out the tournaments here as well as various different articles and the like. There's also a Duelist Cup analysis here that you can check out from August. You can see Virtual World happened to be the biggest deck out of the top 100. We also see things like Adamancipator, Phantom Knights, Zodiac Tri-Brigade, Adventure Good Stuff, Prank Kid, Eldritch, Adventure Tenyi, and Flunder in there as well, and a few others. Somehow there was a third of a True Draco. I don't know how that works, but there's also a quarter of Zodiac. I don't know how that works, but there you go. So yeah. Just very, very good resource just to give you an idea as to what is going on, what could potentially be the future in the metagames, what's to look forward to, maybe potential cards that you want to be buying out at the moment that could, again, potentially have a hold in the future. So overall, these are the 3 resources that I most use. If there are any more, let me know down below in the comments that you might utilize that could potentially be used for various different things. But yeah, that's going to be it for this episode. I hope that you guys did indeed enjoy. I hope that this was helpful for you as well. And I hope that, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. And remember to always stay frosty. Bye-bye. Shout out to the Frost Guard, my members. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I hope you enjoy the content.